Great, wonderful. Governor, welcome. We're so honored to have you lead out on this in this innovative time as we talk about Idaho codes. So welcome.
I was just on a call with all the legislators, and I went just a little longer, giving the technical challenges that some of them have. So it's interesting. I was talking to our oldest son last night. He was well, of course, his son's home from school, and his son was interested in coding, and he went to code.org, and they said good things about the Idaho Technology Council and what we're doing in Idaho. So anytime I can make my grandson proud of the state of Idaho, I'm always delighted about it. So.
Well, got a little new like this. Hadi Pratovi will be on Innovation Matters, which is a live cast we put on every Thursday. And he's going to be on tomorrow. And I know that he's going to be thinking about the cowboy hat that you wore to last December when we did Hour of Code over at Garfield Elementary. So we'll talk to him about that.
Well, thanks, Jay. But, you know, some of the things that we've been trying to do in technology, you know, we're making progress in a lot of areas, but all the bad things that are happening because of this pandemic, the digital delivery and the innovation of remote delivery, particularly in the medical field, we went from being perhaps one of the laggard states to one of the leading states. It never hurts to have a financial incentive. What we're doing about payment, reimbursement for Medicare, for Medicaid, and our healthcare providers, what they're doing. But it was under the necessity that we needed more healthcare capacity, and the digital platform is such a great way to do that. What we're doing on testing, on tracing, what people are doing on remote delivery, it would just, the timing was just perfect. I would, if you haven't heard, I would add that in the money that we got from the first CARES Act, because government in Idaho is so conservative compared to other states where they're burning through that big pile of dough, we intend to put a pretty good chunk of that money into what we can do for broadband expansion all over the state of Idaho. That's going to be great seed money. And then when I talk to the White House and the delegation, we think in CARES 2.0 or 3.0, there'll be some more. So all these things collectively, which are, I know are important to your group, I think we're going to make great progress. You know, when you have a challenging time, innovators make great advancements, and we're really in a good position here in Idaho.
That's fantastic. So this Idaho Coast, talk to Governor about the computing literacy.
Well, I was on a Zoom call today with a dual language.
I think they were fifth
and sixth graders, where they're dual language. And of course, this is out of the Nampa School District, and most of us consider Nampa School District one of the poorer districts. I think it's interesting that Nampa, being a poor district, had better technology distribution than Boise and West Ada. I tease my Ada County friends about that. That poor district in Nampa, because of the leadership of their trustees, and all the other school districts are trying to get caught up. But we're making great progress. But the problem is there's a lot of holes in the safety net. A lot of the students the need to have that connectivity don't have it from either a wireless capacity, an internet capacity, or the schools don't have it. They're scrambling everywhere, but there's a lot of great things going on about the remote delivery. Idaho education is going to look a lot different a year from now, hopefully after everybody gets to school, but with some of the investments we're making and some of the things we're delivering.
This is a tremendous opportunity for us. We've got Idaho Codes is one of those remote delivery, a pivot that we've made with the Idaho Technology Council to bring an online course to Idaho students in the 7th through 12th grade to allow them to be able to take a 120-hour coding course And this is something that we were going to plan to just do this in Middleton High School for Valley View District and Middleton School District this summer, but we decided to accelerate it because of the work we're doing with success in education. And I know this is a big part of yours, is how can you take coding and other technologies to rural Idaho? So talk a little bit about that if you would.
Well, I know of some districts, and it's not uniform at all, where they've got a passionate either administrators or educator that are doing that. Jay, you and I have talked about that in Angela on numerous occasions. It's not uniform about the state, but the nice thing about a challenging time is Greg has a group of regional administrators where we talk about what we're doing in education, and those good practices in some districts will readily flow into other districts just because it's the right thing to do. Coding is something that by its very nature is best if is delivered digitally, can be done very well. So I look to see that go forward. But you talked about the school age. This issue is from K through higher education. I was on a call with with a lot of my governor friends this week, and the incredible turmoil in higher education and what we do for remote delivery in higher education and advanced degrees there. So there is just lots of opportunity, and we're lucky that we've got the Idaho Technology Council, that we've got the STEM Action Center, that we've got IDE supporting all these efforts. And we've got a lot of mechanisms in place to accelerate what's taking place in Idaho.
Well, I think that's a big part. I know you've always been, let the private markets run and really help. The industry is really behind this initiative to be able to work with the Idaho STEM Action Center. If you can, talk a little bit. I know computing literacy is kind of big in your mind because of literacy, reading, and all those type of things. How important is that to the state of Idaho?
Well, I mean, when we stood up the STEM Action Center, how many years ago was it, Angela? 5-6 years ago, it was a big priority. But it's been going up, and it continues to go up. But what I think we should highlight now is a necessity. In some industries, they saw it as a nice bolt-on. Now, working from home more, and I don't think this will ever go away. My new economic team that we're putting together, that I'm going to announce tomorrow, one of the things that we talked about at our first meeting is what do we do to set Idaho up so that we recover from this recession like we recovered from the last one. And a couple of the people on it talked about industries that are in big areas where they have mass transit, where they have higher densities, where they have a lot of these other things. They're going to look at places like Idaho, where we've done a pretty good job of managing the spread of the COVID virus, and say, we want to go to Idaho. We want to either take our Idaho operation and grow it, or move to Idaho. And then the traditional industries we have in Idaho are going to want to implement more technology. So the natural growth, I think, has been taking place in the past, is just going to be on steroids going forward. What I've asked that committee is, first tell me what to quit doing, tell me what I'm doing right that I need to do more of, and tell me what we need to start doing. And a lot of that's going to be in that area. But a couple of these CEOs are saying that they'd already communicated with some of their fellow industries and some of their competitors that say, we don't like the atmosphere here because of the exposure we have. What do we need to do to come to Idaho? And they want to have a workforce that's trained up in coding and technology, and that's going to be a high priority.
Thank you, Governor, for that strong relationship between the coding and industry and economic prosperity for the state. While we're talking about that, one of our next individuals we have on this press conference is Paris Cole, the CEO of truckstop.com, a friend of yours. Paris, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you, Jay, and thank you, Governor Little. It's a pleasure to be a part of this press conference and to be joining all of you. And I represent or wear multiple hats in multiple capacities. First, as the chair of the executive committee of the Idaho Technology Council and as the CEO of truckstop.com, I represent the industry support for the Idaho Codes program. As we all know, Idaho has a vibrant and growing technology industry, not only in pure play software development companies like truckstop.com, but also throughout other industries such as healthcare, manufacturing. And so as we think about the growth of Idaho and the jobs of the future for our young people, it becomes really important to us as an industry and to the Idaho Technology Council that we support them. And Idaho Codes is a wonderful way that we can introduce them to coding and prepare them for the future, their future careers. The second capacity that I fill is to represent the Acahand Foundation. The Acahand Foundation was founded last year by the founder of truckstop.com, Scott Moskrip. And one of the aims of the Acahand Foundation is to inspire learning and educational opportunities for those individuals with a passion and desire to succeed. And so the Acahand Foundation is really excited to be a part of the Idaho Codes program and to provide that opportunity to our young people to support their growth and educational opportunities. So it's a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this and support this both from an industry perspective and from a foundational or a donation support as well. So thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sherawn Reberry, the superintendent of Middleton High School and the co-chair of the Idaho Codes team.
All right. Thank you, Paris. So this has been a most wonderful journey for, gosh, I think the last 6, maybe even 7 years. I remember when we first started talking, Jay, about computer science and how we can introduce that to our teachers in our schools. And it was after this that the ITC created the working group, the Computing K to Career, in order for us to help connect K-12 education to post-secondary education, as well as to industry, business, and careers. Through that group, we have really aimed to help Idaho become the leader among states in preparing its students, our students, to succeed in today's knowledge-based economy by providing access to computing technology and education for every student in Idaho. And we hope to do this to help them learn the skills today in schools in order to meet that workforce for tomorrow. So we are thrilled to be part of the Idaho Codes partnership. As mentioned, it's an opportunity for students in grades 7 through 12 to learn more about computer science. The course is offered to help set that foundation for learning and thinking forward for career opportunities. The course teaches how to code in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But it also helps to meet those computing literacy goals that the governor has talked about. So we think of computing literacy as a foundational skill. It helps build comprehension, prediction, narratives, and it really helps build upon our creativity, critical thinking, and communication. And Middleton was thrilled to be part of the soft launch that took place last week. I was just informed this morning that we have 102 students from the Middleton School District enrolled, which is fabulous. I am thrilled to be able to do that. And so after today, other people can register at idahocodes.org. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the generous donations, as well as the STEM Action Center for helping make this possible for our students to be able to take this course, the first 1,000 students for free. So thank you. And with that, I am more than happy to introduce my co-chair of our working group for computing technologies, Reid Stephan. So Reid.
Yeah, Sherawn, thank you. And thank you, everybody. It's a privilege to be here. I feel like this is going to be one of those I was there moments that we look back on in the years to come. I think of a couple of hats I wear. One is I'm currently the Chief Information Officer at St. Luke's. So as Governor Little talked about this tremendous acceleration in telehealth in the last month in particular, I've had a team kind of at the forefront of that. And it's been great to see how computing literacy, how coding has directly driven that, to be able to provide a service that has such far-reaching benefit and impact to the members of our state, that's provided comfort and reassurance in a time of fear and a time of uncertainty. It's just incredibly meaningful to be involved in that kind of work. St. Luke's has a long history of investing and giving back to this community. And so this Idaho Codes opportunity is just a continuation of that. So the chance to support this is wonderful because it will benefit St. Luke's for sure, but even more importantly, there's this synergistic benefit to our entire community and state. And it's just really a privilege to be a part of that. I also serve on the board at Valley View School District, and it's been a wonderful privilege to serve there in the last 6 years, to be able to observe tremendous opportunity we have to kind of close the gap in terms of graduating seniors every year who increasingly are not equipped with some of the basic skills they need to survive in this new world we have. So it's just really exciting for me personally to see us take steps like this that provide a no or low cost opportunity for students to be able to acquire some basic coding skills. Whether or not they choose to go into that as a career is not important. It's just a core literacy competency that they need to have in this world we live in. So very excited to be a part of this, thrilled that it's come together so quickly, and thrilled that we've almost have, I think, doubled our momentum just in the last month based on the current circumstances we're facing. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Idaho Representative Gayann DeMordaunt of District 14. I would say that we would not be where we are today without her passion and her expertise that I think just really uniquely blends education and government together.
Thank you. Gosh, that was a very kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. You know, this morning I really do speak not as necessarily a legislator, but as a mom who is experiencing this unique education environment in terms of the pandemic, with two teenage boys that are still in high school and now having home learning experiences. You know, I see how hard our Idaho teachers are working right now. It is, I can't applaud them enough. It is truly amazing what our school teachers are doing around the state and in our district. But, you know, this exciting technology learning experience that Idaho Codes is bringing just adds to that. It couldn't come at a more timely point. The environment, as unusual as it is right now with the pandemic, is just right for this online delivery of technology and a technology learning opportunity. You know, I became aware of the incredible work that Success in Education was doing across our southern border in Utah. Technology education knows no borders, so, and particularly when we're delivering it online. But I was excited from the minute I heard about their initiative Code to Success and their online hybrid delivery of coding and computer science. And I immediately thought, I want that opportunity for every Idaho student, rural, urban, suburban, every Idaho student, every corner of Idaho. And this platform, in addition to the new unique circumstances we find ourselves in, is absolutely perfect to increase our computer literacy among our students. You know, our increased reliance on technology. It's not only about the tech sector, who clearly has just stood up and been incredibly generous in their donations to make this Idaho Codes opportunity free for our first 1,000 students and possibly beyond, but free for our first 1,000 registrants. They've been incredibly generous, but it's not just about what the tech sector needs, but it's about our children and our grandchildren. In order for them to have jobs in healthcare, as Reid mentioned, in cybersecurity, in agriculture, forestry, food processing, advanced manufacturing, mining, you name it. Our Idaho kids have to be computer literate in almost any field. So this opportunity that they have right now to take this series of about 120 hours of computer coding and basic computer science skills is an incredible opportunity for our kids and their future. You know, even beyond jobs, to simply understand the world around them. Our Idaho students, they have to understand the cloud, AI, machine learning, robotics. The reality is more and more of their world involves technology. And now is the time to provide a more comprehensive understanding of the world around them. We need our 21st century students to be computer literate, as the governor has advocated for. And now they can do it with Idaho Codes anytime, anywhere, thankfully, coming from the mom, anytime, anywhere, because of the generosity of the investment of private industry. Students can use this unique time in their learning to prepare for a bright future in Idaho. So I couldn't be more excited about this opportunity and its timing for Idaho students around the state. And it also would not be happening without the generosity and the leadership of Rick Folkerson, who is part of the Garf family and has been a friend and certainly an advocate for computer literacy. So with that, Rick, take it away.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Governor Little, I am overwhelmingly impressed by the amazing leadership you have within your state. I take my hat off to the Idaho Technology Council and to the STEM Action Center. Jay and Angela have been great. Paris, Reid, and Sherawn, I'm just overwhelmingly impressed by the vision of trying to bless the lives of your constituents and most importantly, your students. The ability to take Idaho Codes and specifically coding and programming to every student in the state of Idaho is paramount to the overall long-term success of your economy and private enterprise. And Gayann mentioned that. She said it best by saying that every business is influenced by technology, regardless of what industry. I come out of the automotive sector, and 5 years ago, we had no coders or programmers in our company. We now have five full-time coders and programmers that focus specifically on coding and programming around our needs. And there's so many businesses that don't know that they need help in coding and programming, especially cybersecurity. We hear this statistic all the time that there are 2 million jobs nationally that can't be filled for lack of coders and programmers. We've heard that number is even double surrounding cybersecurity because of all the influences. A dear friend of mine, the COO of Overstock.com, says he has 1 billion cybersecurity attacks on his company on a daily basis. Not 1 million, 1 billion. And so the need for more coders and programmers in our world today is really important. and you're leading the way. I'm really excited to see that Sherawn has 102 students that have registered. Reid, you're at 40. So the game on. I mean, we're moving in the right direction. We started this morning with 186 students. We now have 204. So, and we haven't even launched this. We're launching this right now. And what I would encourage all of us, and I'm speaking in regards to all of us in the state of Idaho. I have 2 employees. Director Scott Schwab comes from Rexburg, Idaho, and Sebastian Sturdivant, who oversees our Code to Success program, is also Idahoan. We want to make sure that every student has the opportunity to know more about it. And it takes private enterprise, it takes public ed, it takes parents to encourage their students to participate. We have funding up to 3,000 students, and if we get there, we'll break that even further. So we'll find the dollars. We need to get engagement. We need to get students participating, and we are grateful to help. We're grateful to support. And if you get those kinds of numbers, you're going to find a huge opportunity. When students apply for jobs and on their resume, they can show that they have basic coding and programming skills, they will move to the top of the list in hireability. And I promise you that. And so the more students that have basic fundamental of coding and programming in their resume and in their knowledge base, it will make all the difference in the world for their ability to attract jobs and career path opportunities. So with that, Governor Little, I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to help support the opportunities that reside in your great state. And I turn the time back to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all the work. Paris, you know, we implemented dual credit in the state of Idaho, predicated on what Scott Mosgrove started doing in little old New Plymouth, Idaho. And I think the work that we're talking about here in coding will be akin to the fact that Idaho is one of the leading states in the nation in dual credit. Angela always gives me statistics about where we are in technology, but of course we started at a pretty low bar. So that bar gets a little harder to get ahead of as the further we go up, but you can't argue with the incredible trajectory that we've got here in Idaho in technology and coding both. So for all of you, thank you for the work you've done. More importantly, thank you for the work you're about to do. I've got a call with all the governors in the other room that I've got to jump on. So Jay, thank you very much, and you can continue, but I've got to get on this call with the other governors.
Thank you, Governor Little. We really appreciate your support and your energy behind this, and have a good meeting with the rest of the governors. So appreciate it. Now we'll turn it over to, if you have any questions of those that participated on the call or any questions about Idaho codes, we'd be happy to answer those right now. I think we'll just take everybody off of, David, why don't we take everybody off of mute, and then we'll let people ask questions. And we also have Angela Hemingway, who is Executive Director over the Idaho STEM Action Center with us as well. It can take any questions. So are there any questions that are out there?
Jay, I think we have a couple of questions here from Devin Weeks and from Brennan Kaufman. Brennan was asking if the first 1,000 students who get it for free include the ones who've already signed up from Middleton and Valley View.
So we have, right now, we're saying 1,000 for the funding we have. We actually have 1,200. So we actually still have 1,000 seats available that are going to be at no cost and scholarship 100%. So we still have 1,000 seats available.
Great, thanks. And then Devin had asked, so will it just be $100 beyond that first 1,200 people who get it for free? Or at that point, will it cost $200 to enroll?
Right now, we have, through the Success in Education Foundation, we have the first 3,000 at $100 towards that 200. So we will have to find additional sources of funding to be able to pay for above that 1,200. And we're looking at those right now, but right now, right now today, if we would have to have the students pay $100 after the 1,200.
Hey, Jay, can Angela address that as well? Because STEM has been she has been awesome in how we've been able to stretch the dollars. And I think Angela needs to jump in here.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I think us being part of this amazing public-private partnership opportunity has certainly allowed us to reach this first 200, but now opening it up to the additional 1,000 students. And as this initiative launches, the STEM Action Center is poised to reach out to other partners, beyond the Acahand Foundation and St. Luke's, in order to continue to enhance this opportunity. So really, as it gains momentum, we are poised and ready to partner with other business and industry as they come forward and potentially support additional students. So that is our plan, and we are ready and willing to partner.
And this has all taken place, and Angela, thank you. This has taken place because of the private-public partnerships, and that's the reason Idaho Codes is able to reach where we are today and where we're going to go further into the future, as well as the Success in Education Foundation. Any other questions?
Jay, I was wondering if you or Angela or Paris could address what we're doing to ensure the Idaho Codes curriculum addresses the needs of private industry.
Who would like to take that? Rick, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've seen through Success in Education?
You bet I do. So the curriculum through Bottega is always cutting edge. We have private industry that is always asking regarding what's latest and greatest, and the curriculum is constantly improving and cross-referencing against strands and standards within Idaho school districts. So it's a collaborative effort, but it's always the latest cutting edge. So that enables us to make sure that we have the most up-to-date, resource-based coding and programming opportunities for all of the students in Idaho, but it also aligns with curriculum pathways within the high schools and higher ed.
I would just add to that, Rick, that from my perspective, one of the great things about this, as you mentioned, is this is cutting edge technology. The things that these students will be using today are some of the very same technologies that we use at Truck Stop. And so, this isn't something theoretical that they're learning that, may not apply. These are real world skills that will help them in the very near future.
To that point, Paris, I have to tell you a quick story. We've had a bunch of students that once they finish the class, they've reached out to mom and pop websites and realized that they can repair, upgrade, enhance, and they're charging $100, $200, $300 to update websites. So they're starting little side businesses from the skill sets that they've learned because they're able to build their own websites and simple apps. And that's a valuable resource. So they will be able to be influencing the marketplace after they finish these courses.
Hey, Reid, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, I do. So thanks, Jay. I think that's exactly right. So while the goal of this is not necessarily to drive people to a coding career, it's only natural that as we expose more of our students to this discipline, there's going to be an increase in those who want to pursue a career in this field. What's nice is they'll have multiple paths to choose from. So as Rick just said, we may have a student, when they complete this coding foundations course, they're going to have marketable skills. They may then, when they graduate high school, they may choose to enter right into the workplace, or they may choose to go to college and to further refine their skills and then enter the workplace. But I think what this does is it provides students an incredibly powerful choice. And then a lot of these students will then choose to stay in Idaho, which then provides this wonderful talent pipeline that not only benefits current employers, but I think it's attractive to new ones. And so it creates kind of this, what I view as a virtuous cycle that just builds on itself. And so that to me is one of the most exciting elements of this entire thing.
And just to your point, Reid, and Gayann actually talked about this in her comments, when we can get rural area students learning how to code and program, and if they can stay and work in the rural areas, they earn higher wages, they become better educated, they can serve on community councils, they can lead. It's such a cyclical, great opportunity to build the communities, the rural communities, and not have a talent withdrawal, but a talent build.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so valuable about what Idaho Codes will do as a statewide initiative.
That's a good point, Rick. So we have really this initiative that's led by industry that has the governor's support through the STEM Action Center. We also have a rural and urban pool. So we're actually talking about a infusion of talent to be able to maintain and stay in urban and rural Idaho specifically. And it's all focused on computing literacy and be able to make it so coding is really blessing the lives of the people that are going to be utilizing it today, but more importantly, 5, 10, 15 years in the future. So any other questions that's out there? Angela, I want to ask you a quick question. I know you just mentioned this. You've been working now, this has been the STEM Action Center has been in, it's been 3 or 4 years. I'm so sorry.
Just 4.5 years.
4.5 years, very nice. So as you look at this, how fundamental is it to be able to make it so computing technology really is taught in our K-12 system?
Well, I certainly think, kind of going back to what Representative DeMordaunt said, 3 years ago, the legislature felt it was important enough to actually pass the computer science initiative. So Idaho is one of only a few states that actually has a statewide initiative that directs the STEM Action Center to oversee granting and professional development and form these expansive public-private partnerships. So I would really give kudos to legislators who really had the foresight to recognize the importance of computer literacy, of computer science education. So that really is infused in the fabric of the work we do at the STEM Action Center, supported by all of the individuals on the phone, in addition to the legislators who continue to give us a state appropriation. So truly, because of that initiative, we've formed these types of public-private partnerships that are leading to these phenomenal, Idaho Codes and other initiatives that we're able to launch in partnership with others. So it was definitely through the foresight of legislators that we were able to make this happen and to be laser focused on computer science for our state.
Wonderful. We will have another press conference, and I'm sure the governor would love to participate in this when we reach 3,000 students that have enrolled into Idaho Codes. And the second part that we'll have a discussion about is the professional development for teachers to be able to be certified to teach computer science in our classrooms in Idaho. So those are 2 items that we'll have, again, that we put down as thresholds that are going to really change the way that Idaho adopts computing literacy. I think that we're good. Anybody have anything else that they'd like to add that's been part of this, or any final questions, Tony, from your standpoint, or any questions you're seeing out there?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sherawn, go ahead.
So, yeah, so it's 200. So 200 kids from Middleton and Valley View got it for free. 1,000 kids get it for free. And then how many kids get it for $100? Is it 3,000 total, or an additional 3,000 on top of that?
Can I answer that, Jay?
Take it, Rick.
So right now it's 3,000 total. The private donor that we have as part of the Success at Education Foundation has, I think, has a spirit to do more. But if you hit 3,000, I promise you, I'll find a way to keep that at $100. So our goal is to get 3,000 students from Idaho participating. And if we can get 5,000 students, we'll figure out how to pay half. And then I'm going to come back to Angela and say, Angela, game on. We got to figure this out. And then I'm going to come to Paris, and I'm going to come to Jay and Reid and everybody else. I'm going to say, all right, team, we got to figure this out. We're going to make it happen. So we do not want to allow any student that has a desire to take this course to go unfunded. That's the message. So the more students that sign up, the more students that get engaged, we'll figure this out. Collectively, the great state of Idaho has a passion for this. We'll make it happen.
Sherawn, to add to what Rick's saying is that today we had Rick present and we had a discussion to the Idaho Technology Council Executive Committee. And at that, we have a lot of strong interest, and we haven't really started asking a lot of support financially for Idaho Codes yet, because everywhere we've gone so far, everybody has said yes. So we will find ways to help continue to fund this, just like Rick has said. And I love this. Rick is throwing the gauntlet down, game on, and we're excited about that. That is, we want to make sure we bring students access to Idaho Codes and computing and coding literacy. So,
Jay, can I just add this? You know, the thing that is also so exciting about this program, Idaho Codes, is that the skills are quantifiable and recognizable by industry. And that's critical. And that is what has made, quite honestly, I think it very, I don't want to call it easy, but attractive for industries to step up, industry leaders like Paris Cole, like Acahand Foundation, like St. Luke's, to step up and say, we want to make this happen for every student in Idaho that has the desire and that has the real need to have these computer literacy skills, again, for any job. And so I'd like to be very optimistic and say, we hope that we will continue to be able to offer it to every Idaho student. But the appeal to those that are investing is that these skills are quantifiable and recognizable by industry. We know in this state that CTE is incredibly important and these skills translate. So I'm optimistic about our fundraising abilities too.
Thank you, Gayann. Sherawn, any other questions?
Jay, can I just make one last comment? So to Gayann's point, one of the other things that we haven't shared this data point, but roughly 10% of our student base that have graduated from high school that finish this coding course, they are hired. We have technology companies that are pulling them into their industries and offering them to support tuition reimbursement. And so what I'm trying to say is when students finish this and are out of high school, they are so hireable. And we're seeing it just automatically. And we have more and more technology companies reaching back to our foundation saying, hey, can I have access? Can I talk to these students? Can I interview them? Can we train them while we educate them? So this is a big deal for many of the high school students that participate in this program.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this has been a great press conference. We really appreciate Governor Little's support of computing literacy. Paris, thank you for your work on this, as well as the Middleton School District and Sherawn, Reberry. Gayann, we really appreciate the work that you do as a mother, but really the work you do in the legislature and being a champion there is fantastic. Reid, keep the work up with telehealth, all of the type of things, everything's going on, the healthcare changes, and thanks. I really, Rick, we really are thankful to have Success in Education and the work there. And I can also say, Angela, the STEM Action Center has made a difference, and thank you for all that you've done. And I gotta make sure I throw one more thing in. The goal we have is to be able to make sure that this doesn't have a cap on it. So really the goal we have is we're talking about 3,000, but we've already set a goal of having 5,000 students by the end of the year take Idaho codes. So we will circle back around on this and talk about this when we get 3,000, and then also talk about professional development for teachers and additional announcements through Idaho codes. So stay tuned and be safe out there, and keep coding literacy growing and thriving in Idaho. Thanks all.